here we go. All right, number 1, you had y equals x cubed minus 8x squared plus 11x plus 20. So you have these in your calculator. I need you to only turn number 1 on. So you need to turn the rest of them off, and this is how you do that. You go over to the equal sign, and you hit enter, and for it to be on, the enter sign has to be, or excuse me, the equal sign has to be highlighted. So that is on. If you go to the equal sign and hit enter once, it will turn it off and it will look like this one. Well, then it's not off. Any questions? All right, so only the first one should be on. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, so now you're going to hit graph. And I've got something else on. Didn't follow my own directions. All right, so you are looking at this right here. Now, based on what we did yesterday, what do you think we're going to do? Oh, I didn't tell you the directions. Hello. I want you to factor this. Okay? So we're going to factor that. So what do you want to do? What do you think? Probably 1.
-1.
So what do I hit?
Second, trace.
Nope, just trace.
Trace,
-1. Enter. Do I want to use -1?
Yes.
Why? It's got a 0 for the y. Very good. All right, so what do I do? Come on. Nope. What did we do yesterday when I got -1? -1 in the backwards L, and then do synthetic division because we want to factor that, right? So when you graph these, you want to be able to get 1 to 0. So you want to be able to put something in and get 0 for the y. And then you put that number in the backwards L. All right, you need to be writing this down. So what do I do outside here? 1. Is everybody okay with that? Bring your 1 down. Make your line. All right, what goes here, John? What goes right here? -1 times 1 is -1. Matthias, what goes here? Don't multiply. -9. What goes here, BJ?
It would be positive 9.
Have we made a mistake?
Yeah, we have.
Oh, no, it's not a mistake. Okay. All right, what's 11 plus 9?
Plus.
What goes here? Is that a shocker? Should that happen?
Yeah.
Yeah, because we went to the graph first, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so what do we do after that? Because if our directions are to factor, I need to break the x to the third down as much as I can. So what does that break down into?
Parentheses, x plus 1, parentheses, x to the second, minus 9x plus 20. How do we get that?
This is the easiest part to get. How did she get this right here?
I don't know.
The thing we just done. Because of the 1.
The 1, the -9, and the 20. So I do here, And then after I've divided, I started with the 3, so what do I go to next? A 2. So this is 1x to the second, negative 9x, and then just a 20. Where did she get x plus 1?
I don't know about that one.
Why wouldn't you make 20x?
Because this is the second one, this is the first, and then this has nothing. Does that make sense? You see how this is 3, 2, 1, nothing? So 2, 1, nothing.
Where's the 3?
You drop the 3 goes to a 2 after I've taken one factor out. Remember the other day when I had something like this? And I divided by x plus 5? Y'all remember this? Everybody watch. I'm explaining the L right here. When I divided this, I put negative 5 in that backwards L and did this. So this divided by this was, I took the 3 and I dropped it 1. So that was x squared. That's your x squared. That's your x. And that's your just number. So 0x would have just went away. Plus 2 minus 9 over what? X plus 5, because that's what I divided by, right? So why did Rebecca tell me to put a plus 1 here? Because this is negative. Look, remember how I had x plus 5? I set that equal to 0 and solved to get what I put in that backwards L. So if I'm working backwards, if it's a negative 5, it comes from a positive 5. If it's a negative 1, it comes from a positive 1. Is everybody with me? Okay, am I done factoring? No, what do I have to check? You have to see if this piece will break down. Why? Can this piece break down possibly? Why? Guys, come on, why? I can have one, but having one makes it a possibility to factor. Because if that thing won't factor, then I'm done. Will this one factor? Yes. To be what? X, and then... So what's my answer? X plus 1, x minus 5, x minus 4. That's my answer right here. Who has questions? All right, let's go back. Look at your graph again. Could someone else have told me another number except negative 1?
Yeah.
4? So type in 4, enter, and to make sure it gives you a 0. Did it? Well, what happens if I would have chose 4? What do you think would have happened?
Yeah.
If I chose 4, would I have had a remainder?
No,
Why not?
because that's how you get your 0.
It's on the line. When I put 4 into trace, it gave me 0 for y. Does that make sense?
Same answer.
Would I still get the same answer if I picked 4 first? Now, should. Let's see if we do. So if I drop the 1, multiply, add, multiply, add, multiply, add.
You already had one. That way you don't have to factor down.
I do because I went all the way back to the top. If I would have put in that 4 through that, I would not have. So what is that going to be? What's the 4 going to come out to be? X what? Minus 4. And then what does this become? X squared minus 4x minus 5. Are you with me? And then what would this factor to be? Is that the same thing? Yeah, it's exactly the same thing as this one up here. So what does that mean? It doesn't matter. There's no secret into which one you pick first. As long as you get one that has a 0, it will end up being the same answer. Does that make sense? Any questions? All right, I'm going to go over one more thing.
Is that like for homework or something?
No, that's what we're doing. Yeah. Yeah, we're going to...
Number 2,
We're-
I didn't know which one to pick on.
Yeah, we're not going to do 2 until the very end. I put them out of order. Recall this conversation from yesterday. Don't write this down. How did I get possible rational roots in a polynomial? Do you remember? I put the factors of the constant over the factors of the leading coefficient. You remember me talking about that yesterday?
Yeah.
Okay, what's the factors of the constant? What is the constant?
20,
20. So what goes into 20?
4, 5.
4, 5. What else? 20. What about 1? What else? Guys, come on. Let's go.
2.
2 and
Yeah.
10. And that's it, isn't it? What's the leading coefficient? 1. So what's the LCDs there, or the factors there? Just plus and minus 1. Do you remember how I told you negatives would go in it? Yes? All right. Notice this. Do you see how all my x-intercepts are -1, 5, and 4? -1, 5, and 4. Are all of those numbers in this list? Yeah, because I got 1 over 1, 5 over 1, 4 over 1. Are you with me? That would be beneficial for when we do number 2 in about 10 minutes. All right.